Well, as we speak, the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries is training its agents and biologists on the best ways to deal with the oil spill and the injured animals as they begin to wash ashore. This week in Louisiana Agriculture's Neil Melancon is standing by with Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Secretary Robert Barham to find out the very latest. Neil?
Mike, of course, one of the main concerns is not only the long-term effects this is going to have on Louisiana's fisheries, but on wildlife as a whole. And, of course, joining us is Secretary Robert Barham for this week's guest, who is the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries Secretary. And, Secretary Barham, what effects is this going to have? I know we've already shut down the shrimp season this time, but what's long-term? What are we looking at for our shrimpers?
Well, as you describe it, it will be long-term. The assessment will go on for a long, long time after this. This truly is an unprecedented event. We've never had an experience with something like this. And so as the main thing is get the oil shut off, and then we can begin to assess and mitigate and compensate for some of the damages that we're going to experience.
And, of course, it's not just the shrimping industry, but as we said, wildlife as a whole. Tell me a little bit more about the effects you guys may be looking at as far as amphibians, waterfowl, all of that kind of thing.
This is one of the richest nursery grounds for marine animals, for fisheries, for birds of any site in North America. Our fisheries alone, Alaska and Louisiana combined, produce well over half the production in the United States. Louisiana's #1 in the production of shrimp, oysters, and blue crabs, so you can't overstate what an impact this will have. In addition to that, we have such a rich marine environment, not just the fish and the shellfish, but the marine mammals that are out there. There are a host of sea turtles, some of which are very endangered. Dolphins are out there, the whales are out there. This is just going to be a huge impact.
And, of course, assessing that impact is still going to be an ongoing process. But what are some of the, even given that we don't know the full effects just yet, what are some of the options for aiding as far as our fishermen, our shrimpers? What's out there both in the near term and long term that may be able to help them out?
Well, you have to be considerate of the fact that this is going to impact the fisheries industry first. And it's not just the fishermen, it's the whole fishing industry complex, the marinas that support them, the businesses, the dockside support that they need, the fishing industry, the marketing side, the processors, the whole thing. We have applied and sent information along with our Department of Economic Development to BP that they need to be very aggressive in trying to get compensation out to this community. We'll provide them with the information they need so that they can document it and it's accountable and traceable, and that we can do it right. We've handled events similar in a sense after the storms, the hurricanes, but this will be a little bit different in nature, but the same process. So we're going to have to work hard to be sure we get compensation into these fisheries communities.
And I know, of course, it's a little premature, but tell us briefly, in your estimation, when do you think we could get back to fishing and shrimping here in Louisiana at the earliest?
Well, let me answer it this way. No one wants those fishermen out there fishing more than I do or any quicker than I do. One thing we have to do, though, is ensure it's very important to that industry in the long run and to us that we can ensure to people that it is safe to eat that food and that it's of the highest quality. That's our reputation in Louisiana, and we're going to do what it takes to ensure that. I want them out there as quick as I can, but we're going to be sure when they go back it's high quality and very safe.
All right, thank you. Secretary Robert Barham of the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. We're going to have a lot more on This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, including I'll take a look at the possible effects of shutting down the port and the long-term effects that will have on our grain industry. Stay tuned.